internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours Script. Let's get right into today's video. My goodness, I cannot believe the accuracy of the in-depth information that we provided to every single one of you guys almost 3 years ago, living up to its words. In today's episode, you are going to be in complete shock. The haters are going to be extremely triggered given the confidence in the video that was recorded 3 years ago, and the accuracy was 100%. And XRP is currently at $2.39. And I know there's going to be a next batch of haters when XRP is at 10 that regret buying it but would love to leave negative comments. And this is going to be truly eye-opening for the individuals that, you know, what do you believe, right? It's like, who do you listen to and what do you do and how do you do it? Right off the bat, I want to bring something to your attention. Recently, within the last 12 hours, there was a news event that broke out saying that Swift is going to be utilizing Ripple and its digital asset XRP. Those tweets were taken down and an explanation was provided to why it was posted, and apparently the platform got hacked and multiple other platforms followed. This was the article that was released yesterday. How we're enabling a seamless payment experience for corporates around the globe. And in this video, I'm pretty much going to tell you that Swift will utilize Ripple and XRP. It's just a matter of time until you see the real announcement. And again, there's layers to this stuff, and I'll tell you exactly what I mean by that. Listen to what they said. At the heart of this initiative is our corporates working group. This group includes 25 leading banks and 26 corporates from various sectors and regions, supported by a network of 8 technology partners. This group play a vital role in identifying key challenges, shaping priorities, and piloting new capabilities. And this article was about 9 months ago. Swift standardizes payments end-to-end and gives banks ready-to-use tracking services to enhance corporate experience. And I want to bring to your attention the financial institutions that were a part of this, right? And Ripple has ties to every single one of these. Bank of America, HSBC, MUFG, Standard, I butchered that, Society. Wow, this is absolutely insane. Ripple, like, legitimately, I'll give you a couple evidence proof that Ripple is, you know, a part of this. Standard Chartered, the partners, we have FIS, right? And take a look, like, for example, Standard Chartered, right? 2024, 2025, they were still confirmed Ripple. They're heavily working with Ripple. But this is back in 2016 when they, you know, had their strategic investment in Ripple. And when we go ahead and take a look at FIS, right? One of the partners, FIS, what they had to say about RippleNet. RippleNet can be accessed via the on-premises installed Ripple software called xCurrent. FIS integration with Ripple's blockchain-based solution is being used at our clients' businesses for making cross-border remittances payments. Like, come on, right? The writing's on the wall. It's just a matter of getting everything in line in terms of regulation. And again, remember, we have yet to see anything yet. And these financial institutions are all working with Ripple 100%. Okay, that's a fact. Direct correlations or indirect correlations, but 100%, it's all there. And before we play that video, again, this is me talking about $1,000 XRP. And this video was actually, it was taken down. So it wasn't something that I wanted to do, but I found it and I watched it twice, and I kid you not, I was like, my goodness. And at the time in this video, you're going to hear me say that 75,000 people hold more than a certain amount. And I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below, and how that is such a small number of individuals. And remember what we said this year about keep this in mind because we were right. I said this year that less than 100,000 people, right, own about 10,000 XRP on this planet. And the numbers I gave you 3 years ago, my goodness, the accuracy. But listen to what I said here. And I cannot believe we're actually here and it's all about to happen. And the prices are drastically different. Drastically different. And also to all the Salute holders, I want to bring this to your attention if you guys missed it. But Salute has been officially added to the Decent wallet, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and smash that like button. This is a massive milestone. We are on a cold storage wallet, the first ever XRP Ledger meme coin on a cold storage wallet, because we are here for the long term, the long run. We understand that this is very going to be a valuable asset in the future, given what we're building behind the scenes. And opening up a Decent wallet in 2030, holding your XRP and your SLT, my goodness, I cannot even imagine how crazy that is going to be. And if you guys haven't already taken advantage of the discount, the link is in the description down below. 2, you get $100 off, and if you buy 1, you get $30 off. The link is in the description down below. They make great gifts. Always have more than 1 ready to go. Again, that's a rule of thumb since my inception of my career in crypto. Always gotta have always 1. Okay, even if you don't use it, there will be a moment where you're gonna need it. Okay, so the link is in the description down below. But ladies and gentlemen, sit back for this one. Again, lean all the way back. If you guys don't enjoy this part, I want you to unsubscribe and tell me why you don't enjoy it. But listen, and I want you to unsubscribe from this channel, please, if you don't find this information valuable. But you got to listen to this because it's very important to all the events that are happening right now. Please do not miss this part. If you have been following me for a long time, please don't miss this video, because this video was one of the videos that were taken down off my channel. That's when my whole YouTube got shut down. And now it's kind of crazy because the information I was provided in this video is, my goodness, should be illegal. Like, I cannot believe it. It's like telling people, wow, let's just say at this time, your $7,000 would have been around $60,000. We are very well aware that these banks are going to flood these markets with trillions of dollars, okay? They're coming in, and they're going to come in hot. But what they're going to do first is they're going to buy in at a very low price, especially companies like Citadel, opening up their trading system. They're going to buy in really cheap, and they're going to manipulate these markets because they got trillions of dollars. And once they buy in cheap, ladies and gentlemen, say goodbye to these cheap prices, because we will never see anything like this again. A 31-cent XRP will be an absolute dream. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys why I believe $1,000 XRP will not be enough for the price and in total to scale the whole system up. Okay, I'm going to share with you guys my reasonings. I'm going to break it down for you guys so you guys could understand it and see it and understand why I think $1,000 would not work. Get into it, starting off with some bullish outlooks from MasterCard, ladies and gentlemen. Take a listen to this. Okay, this is very important. Take a listen to this question. To what extent will interoperability between different digital asset networks be important in the future? What risks does a lack of interoperability pose? And what steps, if any, should be taken to encourage interoperability? We believe that interoperability between different digital asset networks is critical to capitalizing on long-term potential of these systems. The absence of systems for interoperability traps liquidity in closed loops, reducing fungibility of money, fragmenting liquidity, and limiting competition. However, as outlined in our response to question 15, the current dynamics of digital assets ecosystem make it unlikely that participants in the space will successfully align on a set of shared technical standards that would enable native interoperability between blockchain in the foreseeable future. And they're saying that what's going to drive this is regulation. And what company out there in the crypto sector is driving regulation for the whole crypto sector? It's Ripple. Ripple is paving the way for the crypto sector and bring regulatory clarity. And once XRP gets clarity, ladies and gentlemen, there is no looking back. Like I said, cheap XRP will be a dream for millions of people. They won't even be able to afford it. Okay.
Now, for the fun part, let's get into this breakdown. But how do we get this breakdown? Well, at Bitcoin Maxi tweeted something I thought was really funny. They went on to say the global bond market is worth 120 trillion. What happens when these people realize what Bitcoin is? Let's say 60 trillion flows into Bitcoin. This makes Bitcoin worth $3.2 million. Okay, a couple takeaways from this, ladies and gentlemen. If you look at it from a Bitcoin being a store of value, possible. Okay, there's a chance. But ladies and gentlemen, what XRP is doing, okay, it's not about the money flowing in and just staying there. It's about creating a digital asset with value that's going to move value from A to B. Okay, we're talking about internet of value, something that us humans, peasants, have never seen before. So when we think about a $60 trillion market cap for XRP, people start going crazy saying, oh, this has never happened in my lifetime, right? It has never happened in anybody's lifetime. But what the World Economic Forum and all the top elites are planning, okay, I know it sounds crazy, but that is okay, ladies and gentlemen. We're the ones that are going to be laughing when XRP is over $100, $200, $300, $1,000, okay? But what they're planning is a utility token that connects every part of the world, okay? So it's a level playing field and it's interoperable with every single system on the planet. It is just a plug and play system, okay? That is what they want. That is the end game.
Every major institution in the world able to settle every major fiat asset with every other institution in a compatible jurisdiction in seconds for less than a penny. That is a very, very big deal.
We know they're changing the entire financial infrastructure. That is a fact, and I could attest to that, okay? Everything is changing. But ladies and gentlemen, when you're moving value, you need lots of liquidity. And ladies and gentlemen, let's break it down so you guys could see enough of the talking. Let's get right into it. So, let's start off with the XRP price if 60 trillion was here, and then we'll break it down. 60 trillion given the circulating supply of XRP would give XRP at $1,111. If we ever have 65 billion XRP circulating with a $60 trillion market cap, that gives XRP at $923. 75 billion XRP circulating gives a value of XRP at $800. But none of these numbers are actually going to remain in these levels. In my opinion, it'll go a lot higher, and here's why. Let's start off with a $19 trillion okay, market cap, and XRP trading at 66 cents. And yes, I am aware that you don't need to hold XRP to utilize XRP. But what I'm doing here is giving you guys a rough idea of XRP being utilized through intraday between multiple institutions. And let me give you a rough idea quickly, okay? On a daily basis, the DTCC processes about $7 trillion. In this breakdown, I have only 19 banks, okay? There are hundreds of financial institutions and private sector companies, okay? There are quadrillions of dollars, ladies and gentlemen. This is just something small. So, we're not going to take the 60 trillion yet. We're going to start off with 19 trillion, and then we'll work our way up. 19 trillion divided by all these banks means each bank would get $1 trillion, okay, throughout the day. You don't need to hold it, but the pool of XRP needs to have a value to transact these amounts at any given moment, okay? If one bank utilizes $1 trillion and utilizes XRP throughout the day, it would have utilized 1.5 trillion XRP in one day. If all these banks are utilizing XRP, this is only 19, and keep in mind the FX markets on a daily basis, ladies and gentlemen, is about $6.5 trillion, okay? You're looking at about XRP being utilized, 20 trillion XRP would be needed throughout the day, okay? We don't have 20 trillion XRP. We only have 100 billion, and that number is only going to keep going down, okay? The larger the payments, the cheaper. And now let's do, ladies and gentlemen, $100 per XRP at a $19 trillion market cap. One XRP is going to equal one XRP. Each bank, again, with $1 trillion, but this time, given the fact that XRP is valued at $100, this means that each bank would have utilized throughout the day 10 billion XRP. This is just to give you guys the small picture, ladies and gentlemen. It's much bigger than this. Much bigger, much faster, lots more money. We're talking about these 19 banks at $100 per XRP would have utilized 190 billion XRP throughout the day. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the juicy part of the video. And that is a $60 trillion market cap for XRP will be met. Because think about it, the utility that's going to drive the value. We have not seen a utility-driven market cap, hence why a 60 trillion market cap is going to be peanuts. 60 trillion divided by just these, 19 banks. That gives each bank $3.1 trillion. And if they're utilizing XRP, 2.8 billion XRP would have been utilized for each institution/payment provider. So that means even with XRP trading at $1,111, 53 billion XRP would have been utilized throughout that day. Keep in mind the hodlers. Keep in mind the whales. There aren't many individuals holding XRP. Like my tweet previously from a couple days ago, 75,000 people hold more than 25,000 XRP. That is such a minuscule number. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we'll be back with another.
It was younger people that were all interested in the internet and all of that. And the older people said, oh, God, you can't put your credit card on the internet. Yeah. Somebody's going to steal your money. And they'd say with things like, oh, God, I would never use email. It's got to be physical, or I only want to invest in hardware, something I can hold and feel. Those young people were right. The internet happened. It was huge. It got concentrated into some companies that really became extraordinary. Some of them went the way of pets.com or whatever, but some of them became Amazon and Google and a big part of Apple and Facebook. There's some big companies, trillion-dollar companies that came out of that internet. Well, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, is going into an industry that's even bigger than what the internet was. And all these young people, they're right.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer.
And now a word from our sponsors.
But I like hamburgers. I like hamburgers and chicken wings.
It started with a vision, now it's spreading wide. SLT's the token, it's our Degen pride. 24 hours crypto, leading the call. Bringing XRP believers, united we stand tall. First ledger's on fire, trades like the scene. SLT's the movement, power in the dream. From the memes to the moon, we're making it real. 100 XRP, that's the deal. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. This ain't just a token, it's a battle cry. For those who know, XRP will fly high. Salute is the name, SLT the ticker. First ledger's buzzing, trades getting quicker. Building the future, brick by brick. In a world powered by Ripple, the vision will stick. We're more than a meme, it's a movement strong. XRP believers, let's prove them wrong. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. 24 hours crypto, the captain of the crew. SLT's the anthem, for the bold and true. Through the dips and the pumps, we stand and fight, believing in the ledger. in the dawn's bright light. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to hunt a destiny. So raise your SLT, let the world hear the sound. XRP believers, we're Ripple bound. From the memes to the charts, the vision is clear. Salute to the future, the time is near. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to hunt a destiny.
With the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening.
Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.